have my hands on the Giiker i3s Smart Cube. This is one of the first generations of the new cubes in the market that can now well connect to your phone, which is pretty cool. First thing about this is the charger. Quite basic, but one of the coolest looking chargers in my opinion out of the GAN, Giiker and the Go Cube. So this cube I believe is made by Xiaomi. I probably pronounced that really badly, however I believe they're known for making phones. I'm not too sure, but that now means that they've got the capability when it comes to this cube. So first things first, coming in at the specs. This cube costs around £40 depending where you get it. I will leave a link in the description to where you can get it. It weighs 105 grams, so a bit more than most cubes, but that's a given because it's got electronic internals. But believe it or not, it's not overly weighty, it's alright, and I can get good times in it. Its size is 57mm, which is slightly bigger than what we normally use, but 1mm, that's fine. And it only comes in black with stickers, which is a bit of a bummer. However, it's alright because the sticker shades are really nice and bright, as we can just simply see from this video, which is one upgrade they made from their first Super Cube, because they had these weird pastel colours which I personally didn't like. So I'll get into performance a bit more at the end. However, this cube is magnetic, and as we can hear, it's got a really strong magnetic click and is quite loud. I think what's going on is the fact that these magnets aren't actually glued in, they're more in a pocket, so they're free to move around, which that's quite loud and it gives a really strong click. Personally, I'm not a fan of it, but it is speed cubable. I can get good times in it. I come from the Moyu GTS 3M, which is a strong magnetic cube, but this is way stronger than that. So if you're a fan of strong magnets, great, this might be a cube. If not, it might not be. So let's connect it to my phone and we'll get into the app. So here I'm going to connect my cube to my phone so that we can take a look at the app that Giiker are offering alongside the cube. So this app is free, however you do need the cube to work with it. The app won't work unless you have a Giiker cube. So we'll log in and it'll ask us for our cube. Mine connected automatically because I've logged on before. So up here in the top left you'll see the little person icon. That gives account details. I'm not going to go onto there because I don't want my account details out there. So up here in the top right we can see a little section with our cube. I can change the theme, which gives different colours, and I can change the orientation. Initially it will try and scramble with blue on front. Personally I didn't like that because I'm used to scrambling with green front, so I can change it there. And as we can see from this, in the top, in this little top bit here we can see my cube. This cube rotates alongside and it's ever so slightly latent, which is a bit of a bummer. However, it's manageable. Now, it's not like the GANs where it can register half turns. You have to get it over a certain point and then it will register. As you can see here, I think I've found a point and I'll animate the whole turn. It will give me my cube name, my battery life, and my total moves on this screen, which is quite nice. So we'll get into the first bit, which is the tutorial here. So I was asked, can this teach me how to solve Rubik's Cube by somebody? And to be honest, I believe yes, it can. So we get tutorials like this, the cube basics, and it will make you go through the learning bit. I've done this bit before just to check it out, and then you go through and test and move on to the next stage. So in the learning, it will talk to you and break it down into a simple way so that you can learn to solve the cube. And I do believe that this is a good method for people to learn, rather than just using a YouTube video, which for some works, but some people prefer to be more hands-on and it talk you through it in a basis like this, which I think is a good idea. So if you do want to learn to solve a cube, this can help you. It can teach you all the different ways, and it goes through it in a layer by layer method, which is the beginner's method, and is very easily understandable. So overall, this tutorial is quite good, and it will talk you through in a clear method, and if you don't understand it, you can go through it again. It's not a one-time thing, so that's good, and that tutorial, I believe, is one of the better ones. I believe you don't have this in the GAN app. I may be wrong, they may have updated it, but I believe you don't. They have it in the GoCube app, and this is probably on par with that. So if you're trying to learn to solve a cube, this is good. The next section down here is the game section. So I've got 4 games to choose from, which that's pretty cool, to be honest. So we can go through here with Cube Crush. These aren't as such how to solve the cube, but these are just little mini games you can do with your cube. This one here kind of reminds me a bit like Guitar Hero. So you've got different colours coming down, and you've got to look, and you've got to turn the cube in time when the colours hit the little beat. It does make a noise, not a song, it just makes a noise. Sadly, I can't get it coming through here, which is a bit sad. But it's nothing special, it's just a little noise. Now, it does take quite a while for this to speed up, but we can see the basics here, where we've got different colours coming down, and there are a few more games, so I'll just exit out of this one here real quick, and I can play another one. So I can play something like Cube Miner, which this one is, I believe, making pictures. I might actually know this one. We get a little miner. Some reason it's not working. So here we go. So we get a little miner on my piece, and he is down here. So I've got to get him to here, and that way is by moving the cube. So he'll stick on this little blue colour here. So I've got to try and get as many coins as I can, but I've got limited moves. So I'll just do that. Now, this game's quite cool, so I didn't do very well there, but that's fine. We get different ones, and they just keep you mentally sharp and learning the cube, which I think is cool. So one of the other cool features is now, by playing those games, I just cram my cube up. But say I don't know how to solve this, or I want to just solve it really quickly, I can come down into this bottom left where the rocket ship is, and I can follow the cube on how to solve it. So it will tell me my orientation, and I press OK. Then it shows me how to solve the cube. It doesn't use a method for this, it just uses the fewest moves and almost reverses the scramble type thing, which is a quick method. For me, the diagram's moving a bit slow, and I do wish that it came up with an actual sort of annotation rather than you just following a cube. I would rather that they put in the letters for which faces to move. I can change the speed in which it shows me how to solve it correctly, but that's effort. So 46 seconds, congrats. You don't need to know how to solve it, it just shows you how. So that's one cool thing. Here is another cool bit that they put in. We have patterns. So yeah, cubers like patterns for some reason. So we can go through, there's a variety of different patterns to choose from. So I'll just choose this one here. So some reason my app doesn't seem to be working. I'll be back in a sec when it does. Hey, so I've got my app working, and now we'll take a look at this pattern. So it gives me the orientation like it did with the solve thing. So it tells me 12 moves, here is where I can select my speed. I want to put it into fast. Okay, so I want green on front, red on the right. So I follow the moves it shows me, and that way I can get my scramble. I went wrong because I did D primes rather than D moves, which I wish they would program in, because I know how to do this pattern. But if you go wrong, it does show you how to do it again. But I got it into this pattern. So we can then just get ourselves out of the pattern. Now, I'll show you here. I've got a different solve section. For example, here I can turn on algorithm scramble on or algorithm scramble off. So I'll just do a quick solve, which you're going to need to stick with me because I am having to look for a camera, which, believe it or not, isn't the quickest thing in the world. So let's begin. Alright, so I need to press ready on my timer. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So I can start, and it starts as soon as I move the cube. So I am going to be missing everything here because I am having to look for a camera and I literally can't see anything. So overall the performance of the cube is quite nice. Sorry, I just need to focus when I'm so 47 seconds, that's not very good for me. I normally average in around the 25s because I was having to look for a camera, but that doesn't deny the fact that this does overall perform. I have in my past been able to average in the low, so close to my PB. I wouldn't say for me this is a cube that I could main because the magnets are too strong for me and I don't like that sort of clacky feel personally. It's a very stable cube, which some will like. So it depends what you like, and it's like any other cube. You either like it or you don't. For me, its performance isn't the best, but it does work and it can P cube. That's one thing. I don't like it, but it can perform. So one cool bit is I can press this little button here and it will show me a summary of how I did it. It can show me in layer by layer, or it can show me in CFOP, which I use. So my cross took 10 moves and was 3.83 seconds, and it shows me my fluency. Sorry, I just clicked off. So overall it gives me my fluency and TPS and my moves. I had a very high move count, but that's how it is. My F2L was 30 seconds, not great, but I couldn't see pieces. So it gives you the analysis of your solve, which is a good tool to be able to see where your weaknesses lie, because that's one key thing for improving. You need to see where you're weaker at, and this can tell you how you're weak, and that way you can work on it, you can improve it. So from that we could see that my F2L wasn't great. So looking at that, I could then turn around and I could practice my F2L and get better at it. So it is a good training tool. It might not be a super duper fast cube for you. For some, it might be, but it definitely does. It does perform, and you can get your, you can improve your solves by getting analysis on them. Another good thing to do to practice is obviously film it, but this helps just as much. So we'll take a look here in the battle section. So I'll switch over to a camera where I can see. Here we go. So this is the last bit of the app. This is the battle section where it will pair you up with some random person, and it goes by standard competition rules. So what this does is if it can't find a real person, it will matchmake you with a bot or whatever. So overall, you're not normally waiting too long. So here I've got someone and it will be generating this scramble now. I believe we both have the same scramble, so it's fair, and it will show me the scramble, and I do this within 1 minute so that we can get into our match. So here, now I'm scrambled up, and I will be looking to make my cross. And I've got to start when the timer starts. "35 seconds, and as you can see, we won." So I've had this cube now for around 1 month, and therefore I can give a good solid review on it. It is a strong performer, and overall it's a quick cube. You can get good times there, even though for me the magnets are too strong, you can get those times. I've seen people that average sub 10 souls still get around 10 seconds, so it won't slow you back by any means. It might not be the most comfortable cube due to these strong magnets, however it does perform. Now, speaking of which, performance isn't its main goal. That's the electronic internals. If you want a main cube, you're better off going for something cheaper that performs better, like the Mode GTS 3M, etc. So overall performance isn't its main goal, however it does perform. So the main focus on this cube is the app and the electronic internals. So it's got many things. If you're a beginner and you want to learn, this cube is great. It will teach you how to solve it through its easy tutorial section. It's easy to pair up, so you don't need to be an IT expert or anything. It's got these games, and these games just loosen it up, make it easier, and they're just something fun to do if you're a bit bored. So the next sort of bit is the timer bit. That is really good. It's on par with something like GANs, not quite, but it's up there, and it gives feedback on your solves so that you know what you're doing bad. If your F2L has a low fluency, high move count, and takes a while, it will display that, and you can see if that's a general trend across all your solves, that's what you need to improve on. Like methods like filming, this is another way to understand your weaknesses so that you can get better. The last bit that is really noteworthy is the battle section. The fact that you can do online battles, you're never normally waiting for more than 15 seconds, and you can go straight into a battle. Overall, the battles are really good, so it keeps the competitiveness up. Now, if you're watching this when I filmed it, you'll notice that you can't compete in a moment because of Corona. However, this keeps that competitiveness up, and it drives you. Personally, I'm quite a competitive guy, and I know many of you people are. And if you like that, this will push you. The fact that you want to beat the other person, it pairs you with someone equally as good as you with around the same times, so that you're challenged. It's not just a walk in the park. You are challenged, and it does push you, and that's something I think is good. It keeps you into it. It keeps you hooked, and you want to improve because you want to be able to beat everyone. You don't like losing, and that's a strong part of this cube. So overall, I would say the performance is mediocre in the cube. However, the main bit is the app. in the app, in the internals, are very good. There is a bit of latency, however, that's fine. When you do your solves, you don't need to put your hands down on a timer and lift up. So it kind of equals out. You're getting very close times, and I think that is a good part of it. So overall, I would say if you've got £40 to spend and you want to learn to solve the cube or you want to get better, I would recommend buying this. It is a good cube. There are other options like the GAN 365i Play or the Go Cube. However, this is one of the more affordable ones. When you look at the GAN 365i, that's around £90. The Go Cube starts at 90. This is 40. So this isn't breaking the bank too much. There is the GAN Play, and that is equal to this, roughly. So I would recommend giving this a shot. So ultimately, my review is that this is a good cube and it's worth buying. I will leave a link in the description as to where you can buy this. So thanks for watching.